Hey guys, this is Mel, and I'm here to talk about The Flash, episode 203, titled Family of Rogues, and it premiered on Tuesday, October 20th, 2015, and I have to say, guys, this was a very interesting episode as we got to get a little more behind-the-scenes info about a certain family of criminals. With that said, before getting started, just a reminder that if you haven't seen the episode, do so beforehand. I don't want any of my thoughts in the videos to spoil anything for you, for one, and second, I don't want my own opinion to sway what you think about the episode. So once you're done watching, come back and see what I have to say. Maybe we noticed a few things, maybe you picked up on something that I didn't, or vice versa. So there's that. So let's get started. 10-minute clock as always. And what did we learn new in this episode, basically? First thing, like I said, instead of a metahuman being a villain, we get to go more deeper into the Snart family of criminals. That being said, we get to see Captain Cold again being forced to work with his criminal father in order to protect his sister Lisa, aka Golden Glider, because of Father Louis Snart. He's basically put his own daughter hostage against his son. So Captain Cold is now trying to do everything he can to save his sister. And because of the appearance of their father, we get to learn a lot more about the upbringing of Captain Cold and Golden Glider. And another thing is Iris gets some good news and some bad news in this episode. Good news for her is that her new news story gets the front page, and the news is brought to her by Linda Park. It was surprising to see her again after so long. And the bad news is that her runaway mom, Francine, who she believed was dead, is now back in town and wants to see her. So Joe had to tell the truth to Iris like that, but I guess it's gonna be really tough for Iris to now realize that her former drug addict mother is now back in town after she ran off to leave Iris behind. So there's that. Another thing we learned is that Jay Garrick managed to stabilize the central wormhole that was found in the basement of Star Labs by building a speed cannon, I believe it was. And they used some great analogy about explaining the connection between Earth 1 and Earth 2. And another thing we learned is that the Professor Stein isn't doing so well. The previous episode had ended with him collapsing, and while we slowly think he's starting to get better in this episode, we see at the very end that that's not the case. So, what was the most shocking moment in this episode? One, I believe the last scene of the episode is always going to surprise us no matter what, but this time it was that Dr. Wells of Earth 2 has come through the wormhole that they just stabilized in the basement of Star Labs. Now, I'm left wondering why he wants to go through a wormhole like that. So I guess we have to wait and see. But aside from that last moment shocker, I guess the surprising part would have to be Captain Cold siding with Barry in the end the way he did, and even his reaction throughout the whole episode to Barry. It seemed like it seemed different between. I guess I'm saying it's a lot different than what you would assume two enemies would react towards each other, and that's that. So, top favorite moments of the episode? One would have to be Jay Garrick is not only still shown, but he seems to be staying on Earth 1 for a little bit longer, and I really like that. I was afraid that we'd only see Jay Garrick in episode 202, but I'm glad that he's still making appearances, so hopefully he'll stay for a little bit longer. Next favorite moment has to be Captain Cold seeming to be reluctant to harm Barry, aka the Flash. It's kind of like they are frenemies in a sense. That's what I wanted to say earlier, frenemies. But I believe we saw some plugs for the spin-off Legends of Tomorrow with Leonard Snark mocking the idea of being a hero, which is what Barry believes he has the potential of becoming. So I thought that was cool. Another thing that I liked with the episode was that Barry was constantly running into Patty, and I sensed a little flirtiness between them, and it's just really great to see them connect on one level very well, and then like trying to not embarrass each other on another level. So I don't know, it's cute. And another thing that was really funny to watch was Barry trying to pretend to be a criminal to fool Louis Snart. He's trying to be like a very tech-savvy criminal by the name of Sam. So his whole facade was just funny and amusing too. So there's that. So moving on, top peeved moments of the episode. It's actually 2, thankfully, but one small one is the fact that Professor Stein's condition seemed to be pushed back. That irritated me because that's basically how the episode ended off last week, with Professor Stein collapsing, and yet this week we see it being mentioned throughout the episode, but it wasn't the focus. That's not happening until next week, but I just thought that we'd kind of put the concern for Professor Stein the following week that he collapsed, and then pushing it a week and kind of like have a week recovery and then have a relapse type thing. So it's just a minor thing. Second peeve has to be Francine's return. I'm just glad that the truth about Francine didn't tear Joe and Iris apart, but it's just annoying that she returns now after all these years. I mean, why now? And it's like, seems like she only came back. She claims to come back because she wants to be there for Iris after she lost Eddie, but it just seems to me that Francine came back into a point of Iris's life when all the hard years are already done. She doesn't have to deal with the teenage Iris. She doesn't have to deal with an Iris who's just learning the world again for the first time. She just has to learn who adult Iris is, which is just, it's kind of not fair because Joe was there through it all with Iris, and just Francine runs off and then like she wants in. It's just, no, that frustrates me. So next, what will I remember about the episode? A lot of it was just on the Snart family drama, so that's not gonna be easy to forget, but it's great to see that we got different dynamics between Barry and Leonard, and then Cisco and Lisa, so it was great to see those. And now let's go to random questions. First one has to be Dr. Wells. Why is Dr. Wells of Earth 2 in our world now? Why is he in Earth 1? And is Earth 2 Dr. Wells the original Dr. Wells, or is this another version of Eobard Thawne that impersonated Dr. Wells back on Earth 2? I only think this because if Eobard Thawne is erased on Earth 1, that doesn't necessarily mean the same also happened to his Earth 2 counterpart. Then again, the same could be said about Earth 2 Eobard Thawne not traveling back in time like his Earth 1 counterpart did. It's very confusing when you consider parallel universes and time traveling and stuff like this. I really hope for a clarification in the future. Second question is, if they stabilize the wormhole at Star Labs, then what's stopping Zoom from using that one and gaining access to inside the lab, inside Flash's home base, basically? And so yeah, so let's quickly move to predictions. I predict that Francine's return will cause issues as long as she's still in town. And like I said before, I don't think she deserves to know the daughter that she abandoned. But then again, what do I know? It would be great TV drama, but in reality, I wouldn't want that drama. I don't know what else to say for it. Second prediction, Barry and Patty will grow closer. Their fun banter will definitely continue, but I got a sense that they were kind of trying to ask each other out, and yet they kind of failed. But Barry did get Patty's number, so I guess that's a move in the right direction. Third prediction, I think something may happen between Caitlyn and Jay Garrick. And I believe Barry and Cisco noticed something going on too. They definitely shared a look with each other, like a look of amusement when Caitlyn kind of stumbled over all the reasons why Jay should stay on Earth 1 for a little longer before returning home to Earth 2. And last prediction, Professor Stein's healthy troubles will be addressed in the next episode according to the promo. So I guess it's not really a prediction, but we'll definitely see why he's either passing out or why he's just not at his optimum health at the moment. So we'll get those answers next week. Apparently they have to find another person to stabilize Professor Stein like Ronnie used to stabilize him. So there's that. And I have 10 seconds left on the clock. How about that? So I'm just gonna stop that before it goes buzzing in my ear and ask, what did you guys think of the episode? What did you like? What did you did? Is there anything from the comics that was used in this episode? I'd love to hear it all, so please leave a comment down below if you have any answers, or if you just want to share your own thoughts about the episode. I'd love to hear it all. It's just great that you're even watching, so thank you for that. But before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, or share this video. Truly appreciate any. If not, thank you anyways for watching. It's great to just be heard. And if you want any more spoilers or any more information about The Flash, usually whatever I find, I link it back to my Tumblr page, so check out my Tumblr. All the links will be down below in the description box. A lot of the sneak peek clips or any of the promos, I usually link it back to Tumblr, or any of the synopses that were released 2 weeks before the episode does. I usually link it back to Tumblr, so if you want to find out all those, either by show or by episode, just check out the links below. They'll lead you there. And I'm going to stop now, so until next week, this is Mel, wishing you all a very happy day. So bye-bye for now.